What's up? So this video is split into three sections. If you hover over, you can see like what they are, like when they start, so you can just skip to them. But give me some watch time and watch it straight through. So the three sections are how to play video games correctly, how to do the productive things before playing video games, and when you shouldn't play video games. I put some Winston gameplay over this because I'm a one trick, so that's what you're looking at right now. That's kind of blurred out. Um, I'm branching out, kind of like these type of videos. I don't usually make videos like this, so if you aren't well with this type of video, tell me. But yeah, that's about it. Let's start. So there's two ways to play video games, or like two situations. The first situation being you've done productive things and you want to have entertainment. The second one is you haven't done anything productive and you still want entertainment. Now, if you're doing the latter, then you're playing video games wrong. Video games are supposed to be an escape from reality, not your actual like life, not your actual world. You need to do the stuff that helps you progress in your actual life before you think about going into somebody else's or going into a video game. I guess as a recap of this section, like I didn't originally plan for this, but the correct way to play video games is by doing the productive things first, and then if you do play video games at all, it should be afterwards. You shouldn't play video games before doing something that you need to do because you probably won't end up doing it. Like, of course, if you need food, you're going to end up doing that eventually. But if it's kind of like a, well, I don't need to do that, but it helped me in the future, you're probably not going to do that. So put video games, if you play them at all, after the things that you need to do to further improve your life. Now, I've been saying to do the productive stuff before playing video games, but what actually is that stuff? Now, this is a little different for everybody, but generally it is improvement, becoming the best version of yourself. I'm just going to show you real quick how to do that in all areas, like spiritually, physically, mentally. But when you do find something you really want to focus on, like let's say you want to be a lawyer or something like that, you might stop doing some of these. But for now, just do all this stuff because it's like a general improvement. So how do we improve? I'm going to go over first like some mindsets. They're kind of basic, but they're still like very important. Then we're going to go over what a habit tracker is and then just give you a couple habits to improve yourself. When we want to do stuff that's productive, it's pretty common that it isn't fun. Actually, it's more likely that it will be hard, that it won't be like entertaining. So the first thing that I kind of want to like drill into you is to never quit. I was raised on this principle and I'm grateful for it because there's been a lot of hard stuff that I've been through or had to go through, either by my fault or just like natural. It sucks. But because like this mindset is like a cement block in my mind, it's always like I've always been able to get through it. So never quit, especially when it comes to like improving yourself. Now this mindset kind of ties back into what I was saying earlier about like doing video games or really anything that's like pretty easy after doing the hard stuff. So I've recently just felt the power of this, I guess, principle you could call it, of doing the hard things first. Because like, for instance, when I work out first thing after school, I generally am more productive later in the day. Because we'll get into the habit tracker soon, but like I have a bunch of habits, some are harder, some are easy. When I do exercise, I generally do the easier habits more often than if I didn't do the hard ones first. So do the hardest thing first, do the productive, and then the fun. Now this last thing isn't much of a mindset, more of a reminder. Now this is your life, so when you hear what I say, apply it. Make improvement like your own thing. Don't take every single word I say or anybody else says, hear it, and then apply it and tweak it to your own personal experience. Don't just be like a sheeple, you know? Don't just like listen, do exactly what the person says and never question them, never change something to more fine tune it to your experience. Make improvement your own thing is pretty much what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'm finally going to talk about it, the habit tracker. So a habit tracker, and there should be one on screen, is just like a Excel spreadsheet. You put habits on the top and then you put the date or like the number on the side. Now, whenever you do the habit, you check the box. It's pretty simple, but it just helps you keep accountability and it helps you track your progress. So next, we're just going to go over some basic habits that will help you in all these like physical, spiritual, mental areas. So these are the basic habits to help you improve generally. Now, once you get more into self-improvement, find habits that like tailor to your goals and like your pathway to success. So these are the first 5 that I started with. I still do all of these, so they're pretty good. So yeah, let's start. Okay, so first we're going to start with how to improve physically. Now, this is kind of like obvious. The habit is exercise. So just try to have some physical exertion every single day. For me, I started, like I said, like a year and a half ago, I started by doing 100 push-ups and sit-ups because I saw One Punch Man. I thought it was cool, so I was like, let me do that. But if you can get like a set of dumbbells, that works great. Or you can go to an actual gym. That is probably the best thing. But if you just like don't have dumbbells, you can't drive or you can't go to the gym, there's not one near you or something like that, then just do some like push-ups, some sit-ups, and that's how I started the habit. Okay, so now we're on to mental improvement. So I started meditation just by doing 3 minutes per day. I over time I like increased the like amount of time, so I went like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. But I say that you should start small and you should value consistency. For me, it's just helped me like focus on improvement just by being more mindful and like aware of the consequences of my actions. So like for an example, working out is hard, but because I'm mindful and I see past the short-term pain of exercising and I see the long-term benefits. Like I end up exercising, or I see like short-term pleasure. Dang, I see short-term pleasures, but I also see the long-term pain. I decide not to do those things. It's like stuff like that. You know, at least for me, I feel like I've gotten better at knowing the consequences of my actions before I do them as I've done more meditation. So yeah, just start meditation, start it small, like 1 minute, 3 minutes, whatever you want to do. Yeah, that's the first habit. Habit number 2 is called gratitude journaling. Now, it's pretty obvious. You just write a number of things you're like grateful for. They should be different. You shouldn't like write the exact same thing every single day because there is a lot of stuff to be grateful for. I've always done 5 a day, but you can just kind of set the number to whatever you want. You can like tweak it. For me, at least, it's just made me more happy because I realize like the value and like how like the value of how many things. Like, let me restart. I realized like the value of things that I previously didn't realize. So when I'm saying like I notice how lucky I am to be born into the certain situations I'm in, I just like nature is cool. You know what I'm saying? It's like stuff like that where you have to, because you can't write the exact same thing, you start thinking about how many things you're grateful for. Dang. How many things you're grateful for because like they seem small, but like then you're like, oh shoot, life would kind of suck without that thing. So it's just kind of like made me more happy, made me more grateful for my family and my surroundings, stuff like that. So yeah, just dude, I am messing up right now. Gratitude journaling, just journal what you're grateful for. 5 things, 3 things, 10 things, I don't care. Yeah, so take that one. That's a cool one. That's the second habit. Now the third habit, again, is very obvious in the name. It's learning. So it just means reading anything that helps you learn more on like a topic that you're interested in. That's a shocker, but that's what it means. So yeah, to go over it, meditation, just start like 3 minutes per day, through 1 minute, whatever. Gratitude journaling, just write a number of things you're grateful for every day. Try to make them different every day so that you can kind of see how many things you take for granted. And learning, just try to find something that interests you and start learning more about it. So that's pretty much it for like mental habits. Okay, so spiritual improvement is what we're on, the spiritual habit. So now personally this is my favorite, but it is reading the Bible. Now I'm not some super religious guy that's like trying to indoctrinate you. I'm not in any church. I haven't been indoctrinated. I started reading the Bible for myself, and I ask that you do the same. At least start with the book of John. That's what I started with, or it might have been, I started with Genesis, then I read John, and then I read Revelations, just to like see the past, present, and the future, or not the present, but like 2,000 years ago type thing. So I just ask that you read the book of John, educate yourself on God, and if you do want to know what I think, I have a video on how to be saved. It's in the corner, like I think top right, or it's just in the description. At most, I read like 3 chapters a day. I try to have like I said earlier, I value consistency. So I know if you notice, I've been like stuttering more at the end of this video, but like I said, I read at most 3 chapters a day. I value having a consistent relationship with God more than just reading like 20 chapters in one day and then like not talking to him for like 3 months. I just don't think that's the right way to do it. So I understand if you're like, how do I know if the Bible is the right one? Which is why I don't really care if you take out other stuff, because I trust God will guide you to the truth. So yeah, like I said, how to be saved in the description. Check out the book of John. Read it yourself. I use King James Version because even though it's kind of older English, I like it. So if you want to go on what I'm doing, read King James. But yeah, that's the Bible habit. So the last section of this video, section 3, when you shouldn't play video games. Now, if you want to become the best of anything, like a category or like the best at a sport or anything, if you want to be the best of anything, there isn't much room for video games. If you're playing hours of Call of Duty or hours of Balloon City 6 or hours of Overwatch 2, then you're not going to be the best, because there's going to be a guy who also wants to be the best who's not playing those video games. So you might become pretty decent at it. You might be really good at something, but you won't be the best. So if you do want to become like the Michael Jordan of something, don't play video games. Don't waste your time. There's not much room for entertainment. Sure, you might be able to play video games like, oh shoot, do you hear that? But you might be able to play video games once a week or something on the weekend after you've like practiced for 30 hours straight or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But if you are wanting to be the best, there's not much room for it. This is for just to say it again. If you want to be the best, do not play video games. But if you don't care about being like the absolute number one best of something, and you just want to improve yourself and still have video games in your life, that's a fine. Like, not everybody wants to be like the Michael Jordan, and that's not a bad thing if you don't want to be the Michael Jordan. But like, if you do want to be, then don't play video games. But that's about it for this video. I don't got nothing much else to say. Tell me if you do like this style of video. I've never done this before. I don't think, anyways. So yeah, just tell me if you do like it, and I'll do more. I'm gonna do like probably 3 types of these, or 3 of these. What do you call it? I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm gonna try this type of video out a couple times to see if people like it or not. If you do like it, like I said, tell me. But that's all I got. Thanks for watching, and praise God.